Well, we're here. They had certain civilizations to choose from, and Viper has chosen the Magyars for this one. Berbers for Miguel. Viper pretty comfortable right now, I'm sure, leading 2-0. Up against one of the strongest players that wasn't favored to win their set in round 1. And Viper, so far, he's been troubled, but he has won the games pretty easily in the end. Magyars for Viper is a pretty cool pick. I think their strength is really going scouts into knights and cav archers. It will be fun to see Miguel. Miguel might be able to have the time to get to the camel archers, and the camel archers are anti-cavalry archer. And let's be honest, pretty much anti-everything in this game right now, once you mass them. I even saw them killing eagle warriors not too long ago. I'll start with Miguel's map, because he's going to need a nice map to beat Viper. He had a bad map last time, and Viper knew how to abuse it. A wood line to the right-hand side for Miguel, where both of his stones are. These are good locations for stones. This one's an easy wall. This one, not an easy wall, but a decent wall across the front between the wood lines and the cliffs. On the left side, also an easy wall, and another easy wall. So, provided he scouts this, he could wall in both his stones and 2 of his golds. The problem for him is all the hills. Actually, there's 3 golds. The problem for him is all the hills. And the fact that Viper, if he goes cavalry archers, can range all these wood lines by firing over top of them. But there's a lot of action to happen before we get to that point. Miguel has sent his scout forward again to steal some of these sheep. And he's so close to seeing Viper's boar. Miguel needs this. He needs this. He needs to be able to steal this boar. Just missing it, though. A Viper actually catching his sheep, too. Wow, some T90 hacks, some map hacks from Viper there. He's going to find these sheep. Perfect timing, too. And, okay, Miguel's going to call a re. So, if you're unfamiliar with the re, players get up until the 4-minute mark to call a rehost. Miguel has done so. Miguel is the first player to call a re that I've seen so far this tournament. And I kind of get the decision. He wants to do damage to Viper with the early lane. That being said, you can tell he's in his own head. You can tell he's not confident versus Viper. Reason I say that is, this base is pretty good. But he feels like he needs to lame Viper to win. And he can't beat him with a base like this. So that means he is in his own head at this point. Because this is one of the best bases you'll find. And Viper's really isn't that good. I didn't get time to talk about it, but Viper's probably happy about that. So, I know this is a really bad comparison, but I played in 2 tournaments in the past, and I was a much weaker player then. And this was Legend of the Huns, or wait, yeah, I think Legend of the Huns. So I was faced off against, I was 1600 at the time, and I was faced off against a 2K player. It was Nero Melnick, and I knew he was much better than me. And I looked at one of the games. I called a re after doing the same exact thing. I tried to lame, but then I realized that my map was so much better than his, and I never should have called a re. Yeah, but he didn't really scout his own base either, guys. I think that's the issue. That's the whole point here. He went forward, trying to be aggressive, trying to lame, and had he just stayed at home, he would have been able to scout his resources in the back. Yeah, I haven't seen Nero around in a while. I actually played Rocket League with him a year ago. That was around the time he became inactive. He started playing that instead. I hope he's doing well. Yeah, the bets are going to be locked in, guys. But we're going to be in the next game here. Yeah, the civs stay the same. It's just basically a different map. All right. Magyars again for Viper. If you're watching on YouTube, there was a rehost last time, so Miguel used his re. And the reason he called that is because he was trying to lame Viper from the get-go and steal some of his resources because he feels like he needs a little bit more to beat Viper. It's Berbers for Miguel, and I just want to see what he's going to do with this scout because he found one of his extra sets of sheep. Yeah, I feel like he's going to go try and find Viper right away. The Viper does have a forward boar, which will probably take first, and a back boar. Viper's sheep are way back here. So I think Viper is in a good position to defend. And Viper saying what? Hold on. Not any back gold and main on hill. What, Miguel? That was back. Viper says, why though? You had pretty decent map, no? So we were talking about it. Viper's just like, whatever. I think Miguel truly called the read because he couldn't lane Viper. That's my guess. He caught it right at the 4-minute mark when he had his scout forward. Viper's confused because Miguel had a really good map, and Miguel probably just called it because of the fact that he had a rehost to use and he couldn't lane. But hey, guess what? He's going to get to lane this time. Being aggressive versus a player he doesn't feel like he has the edge over. And you know what? I don't think Viper scouted that. Wasn't the boar here? And Viper's not going to have time to get back. Miguel can steal this boar if he wants. All right. Well, game on. Comeback time, right, chat? There's still a lot to happen before we can say there's going to be a comeback. But I'll try and maintain the hype here. I'll look at Miguel's map. I'm just assuming he's going to bring that boar back to his base and not slip up. It's not the best. It's really not the best. He has a good wood line. He has a good gold. Actually, he has 2 good golds and a stone. But the reason it's not great is because the forwardness of his, or the openness of the front. Sorry, I still have a little bit of a fever, so if I mix my words, I'm going to blame it on that. The openness of the front, Viper is going to abuse all day. But maybe Miguel wants to be the aggressor. He started off with the lame. He does have relatively safe stone. If he were to go man-in-arms towers, this would be a good base to lock down with stone walls or towers himself after he goes forward. Viper's map, woodline on the right, main gold here, stone here, protected too. He scouted all of this. An easy wall off kind of proves my point. Viper, of course, has his second gold and his stone further away from his TC than Miguel does. But with a small wall here and a small wall here for Viper, this base is simply much better. Now, civilization-wise, Viper's probably going to be going scouts. The reason you want to go scouts as Magyars is because they get the free forging upgrade. And these are... This civ is as close as you get to Huns, having it not being Huns. That's what Spring says. Spring says they're Huns, but better. So, you go with the scouts, you transition into archers. Sometimes we'll see cavalry archers. It's really the only civ, except Huns, we'll see cavalry archers with. And then oftentimes you see the knights. So you get free +1 on your melee units in the feudal age. And then in castle age you get free +2. And then not 3 + 4, free +4 in the imperial age. Meanwhile, Miguel has cheaper camels and knights, but that doesn't really give him much in the feudal age. He doesn't have any strong feudal age bonuses. As the Berbers, the goal is to simply get to your stronger castle age units. So really it depends how things pan out, what their early builds are. I think we're going to be seeing scouts as well for Miguel at this rate. I might even build that early barracks actually, because he has 4 on wood. But nope, second lumber camp, so probably scouts. While the camel archers are strong for Berbers, they don't have any strong early bonuses to really get them there easier. And that's the same, luckily, with most civilizations that have strong unique units. The Spanish don't have any strong eco bonuses. The only bonus I can think of that might help them get to their conquistadors early is the building bonus. They could build the castle faster. But no strong eco bonus there. I guess the Burmese is the exception. The Burmese, they get the free lumber camp upgrades. Yeah, Viper, gonna go build his barracks now. He's going to build the second lumber camp, I assume, over here when he gets the resources for it. And same build for both players, pretty much. The Viper's being a little bit ballsy, running out to the deer instead of just luring them in with his scout, which is right here. But okay. It's Viper. You got to trust him. Miguel taking the time right before feudal to also take 2 of his deer to his mill. And barracks already there. Build the stable maybe, and we can wall off this right side. Miguel has been hesitant to go to Viper's base to scout because he knows that Viper's scout not only is on full HP, but will get the extra attack. Well, Viper's going to find his sheep late. Or maybe not. Viper probably assumed that Miguel stole those. That's something I missed. It's very impressive that Viper... If Viper didn't have the deer, his time would have been so bad to feudal age. It's impressive he was able to compensate there. It's not the end of the world when you lose a boar. Example, Viper right now. Miguel just now scouting Viper's base. He doesn't know what Viper's doing. He doesn't know if Viper's on gold or 2 lumber camps for scouts or what. And Viper did scout early on, at least knows where his opponent is, and both players assuming scouts and assuming correctly right now that there is the spear for Miguel going out to the only vulnerable area for him on the berries. Viper's scouts are being created. And he may linger around to try and pick off this scout. It'd be a sure death to Miguel's scout if he gets found. Viper has 3+3 on his scouts, only 3+2 for Miguel. It also makes the defensive spears for Viper much stronger because they're going to have the extra attack. It's pretty close now. Both players with flawless builds. 25 vills for each, almost no difference there. There's the forward spear for Viper. He might be waiting for his scouts to arrive or just patrolling here, hoping that Miguel would run past. Miguel is waiting for Viper as well. Viper's completing his wall here, and he's just going to house wall here as well. This is going to be finished, and that means Miguel would have to send his army the entire way around. And Miguel's probably better off being defensive, because Viper's going to be full walled. But both players playing it safe. Viper not going forward yet either. He's just going to patrol on the choke points. The problem with playing defensive is you don't know what your opponent's doing. You don't know if your opponent has gotten scout upgrades. You don't know how many scouts your opponent has. So you're setting yourself up to play in a reactive manner, and that's oftentimes bad, but both players just doing it perfectly right now. If you look at the numbers, they don't know how many numbers the opponent has, but it's working out perfectly. Miguel might actually make the mistake of running forward. He doesn't want to take this fight. He's not going to have the numbers, and he's not going to have the attack. Viper patrolling on the small hill, and Viper recognizing that as Miguel ran by, and oh geez, that hurts so much for Miguel. You might not think so, but he's lost HP for free, and now this gives Viper an opportunity to push out. This might force Miguel to make a couple extra scouts, might force him to make a couple extra spears, and that will just delay the ultimate goal of getting to the Castle Age. Viper doesn't really need to create any more units. He knows that if it's 6v6 here, he'd win. He knows that Miguel's going to be on the back foot, and he can just distract him now. Miguel added an extra scout. And there's Viper's spear, finally. Okay, I think it'll be 7v7 here with the scouts now. Yep, 7v7. 3 spears over here for Miguel. 1 up on the hill. Viper's probably going to go to the left side. Miguel expects it. This is such high level of play. It's impressive. It is impressive. The fact that Miguel loses a little bit of HP, and that's a huge deal, and it swings the entire game, just goes to show you how perfect these guys normally are. Okay, Bloodline's coming in for Miguel, and again, Viper hasn't seen that yet. Viper might be expecting it, and again, he doesn't really need to take a fight here. He's forced his opponent. Okay, now I can see he got Bloodline, so he forced his opponent to go Bloodlines, make extra spears, and make an extra scout or 2. Bloodlines gives these scouts 65 HP. Viper is just trying to focus down on the lead scout, and he's going to run away. Bloodline's, of course, an upgrade that will help later on in this game for Miguel, but it is an upgrade that will slow down his castle time. It's 150 food and 100 gold to do so. Viper has about 150 food more, and Viper on his way up to Castle Age first. Was that an archery range? Yes, it is an archery range. Viper's going to transition into cavalry archers. Okay, there's no hole here. Viper is full walled his base. And Miguel's going to find that out the hard way. But he probably assumed that that would have been the case. So Miguel going up with 2 extra villagers. Literally just 1 kill for Miguel. And that's all. And it was just that spear. We've seen 20 minutes pass, and there's been one death, and it was that lonely spear. And no one seemed to care, you bastards. Okay, it's my fault. There we go. It's even now. We care about you too, Scout. Miguel's adding a second stable, so Miguel will go knights and camels. So we could see a town center here for Miguel. We're going to see a pretty boomy game. We could see another town center in this location. Now again, cav archers can range this, so if Viper wants to sneak on by, he can kill villagers on this wood line. Can't really range the gold. But what Viper sees is a lot of real estate in the middle. Miguel sees it too. Both players are going to want this. This is actually a neutral gold. This is one of Miguel's. So if Viper takes control of this, not only is he stealing one of Miguel's golds, but he's stealing a neutral gold. Oh, wow. Okay, this is actually a surprising move. I was not expecting this. So Viper is going to get 3+4 on his scouts now for free. And he's also going to get light cav and try and take a fight. This is brilliant. This is a brilliant time to fight. He's going to get light cav. And Miguel was probably thinking, oh yeah, I can hold here. I even got an attack upgrade. I'm going to have camels and knights. But this is going to be annoying for him. Will it work out for Viper? Can Viper delay this TC? I think he's going to be able to delay this TC. Maybe even find a couple Vil picks. That's an impressive move. And that's an upgrade you don't often see at this level. The Viper delaying that town center. And that slows down Miguel just enough to really be a problem. And a brilliant move from Viper. He must have built a gate here. Yes, he did. And he sent the cavalry archers to that wood line. Now also, look at the distract. Sending 2 light calves away that are weak and sending in the light calves that are strong. After villagers, brilliant display of multitasking and map awareness and map control from Viper. Gonna find another Vil pick there too. So 2 Vils down. He's delayed the town center. Here he didn't kill any Vils, but he forced Miguel away, and Miguel is immediately on the back foot here. This is just... It's crazy how the light cav upgrade started this. Another Vil going down. Viper's killed 3 villagers. And he's going to kill a knight now. Look at the KD. 14 kills for Viper. 14 kills for Viper, only 6 deaths. And those deaths were the light cav. Flawless play from him. And he's in a position now to make mistakes if he wants, honestly. Because he's up 2 games. So if he wanted to be sloppy, he could. He could play a little bit risky, but he doesn't need to play risky. He's on 3 town centers, he has a 4 Vil lead, and already Viper has an advantage in this game. The other cool thing that Viper's doing right now, and this is something I've learned as I've gotten better, I'm gonna brag now, because we have so many people here. I'm sorry. Just hit 1900 on Voobly, which is really difficult to do. And this is the one thing I learned, amongst other things, is to keep units like this alive when they're no longer useful and scout the areas of the map. And look at the scouting difference now. If you see that mini-map, Miguel does not know where he wants to go later on. He has no plan, except just merely defend now. He can't get into Viper's base. Viper, he has full map control. He sees where he wants to go later on. He could start getting the relics now if he wanted to. Husbandry is a nice move, so we can run away from knights. But Miguel, trying to catch him off guard, not going to happen. Not going to happen versus Viper. The one thing that's great for Miguel is he's on stone. So he can get a castle in this position. He can go with the camel archers, and camel archers are anti-cavalry archer. Now, of course, Viper could just transition later. He hasn't really over-invested in the cavalry archers, and he has a very strong food economy. But we'll see. Viper's got to be expecting this, though. Viper's not dumb. Normally, if a player wants to stick with cav archers throughout the game, they're going to be on 3 archer ranges minimum. Normally, you'll see 4, 5, 6. Viper's only on 2. And he's going to try and win with his economy. But it sucks to have knights in this position, because knights can't fire over walls. Maybe if there was a mod we could make, knights could throw their swords. Like it's like a throwing axeman. They're on their horse and they throw swords over the houses. So the knights are going to have to be a defensive move, and it's just waiting for Viper to show up. Hope you take a good trade. And then heal up after each engagement. But so far, better engagement for Viper. And Miguel's going to wait for that castle, and then he'll try and push out. Oh, Viper tempted to go in there. But not going to happen. He didn't get any monks, and he lost a cavalry archer. This is why husbandry is important. You need to be able to run away on micro with units like this. And Viper's going to get a hill here too. And almost getting a kill there. Viper has a lot of momentum. Miguel needs to get the castle up now. There we go. He still needs to hold here. Monk's going for conversions once again. Another conversion comes in. One monk will die. Two monks will die. And Viper's going to run away. Still wasn't the most cost-effective fight for him because he lost 3 cavalry archers. And the other one was converted. So it's 4 deaths for him. And he knows that, so he's running back. Will the camel archers be enough for Miguel? He's certainly not out of this game, but he hasn't been in control. Miguel has not started scouting the other areas of the map. Okay, 1 spear maybe doing that. He'll probably go to mainly camel archers now. And Viper recognizing that possibility, he's going to add skirmishers. And you're probably wondering, T90, how do you know that Viper knew? Well, first of all, he saw the castle there. I didn't know that. We're going to pretend he did see the castle for the sake of a learning experience. He's adding elite skirmisher because there's no other... He couldn't be expecting... I'm sorry, my words are hard. He couldn't be going elite skirmishers for knights. He's going for some form of archer unit. And he knows what civ he's playing against. And he knows his opponent TC'd that stone here, so... Whew! So as of now, Miguel has the advantage with the unit composition. Will he have the numbers? Another castle here would be beautiful. Protect that stone. Continue to make camel archers. I don't know if elite skirmisher is a good thing for Viper, as far as the sign goes. Because if you're going with a trash unit, that means you don't have the best composition to fight currently. And that also gives Miguel an opportunity to add light cav later. And he still has knights alive. Miguel's the first to click up to imp. He's building the castle exactly where I said. He'll go to this stone afterwards. The only bad thing for Miguel is his lack of map control, but he's going to be trying to get that in the Imperial Age. I love learning experience based off lies. Oh man, look around. Are you woke, Jomanal? Are you woke? You'd be surprised how many learning experiences are false and based off lies. Miguel catching up on the upgrades now. Viper gonna run around. So neutral gold's here. Viper sees it. I think he was just checking to see if Miguel has gone out there yet. Viper's also getting many of the relics, and he's gonna have an advantage there. This is gonna be the area the game's gonna be decided on, though. Right here with those neutral golds. And it's very disappointing that Miguel hasn't seen them yet. He hasn't seen the relics and he hasn't seen the neutral golds. He's scouted a little bit more, but he's missing this stone. Viper's going to have control over that as well. Viper is still in the castle age, though. Okay, there we go. He's clicked up to him. Smart decision to raid. Still in a position to do that. Miguel doesn't want to fight this just yet. Miguel also has not seen the skirmishers yet. The Viper could surprise him. Now here's the army for Miguel. Still missing that neutral gold, which both players will be fighting over. Up! Chasing down the monk! Get him! Oh, there are the skirms. The skirms could die to the knights. And that monk is hiding. That's a great engagement for Miguel. Viper out of position. Viper didn't find any Vil kills here either. He could have gone here, but he didn't. It's a lot of free skirm kills. Oh, the monk! Monk is dead, but Viper will probably be able to get that anyway. Miguel building his third castle, as the overlay shows. Still with just regular camel archers. He doesn't have chemistry yet. The Viper does have ballistics. This goes to show you how strong the skirmishers can be, but also how well they can be countered by any form of cavalry. Okay, this camel archer is on 5 HP. Okay, it's the wrong one. I know what you guys wanted to see. Where did Miguel build that other castle at? Here, okay. So this protects his wood. I like this. I like these two castles. But what if the castle would have been here instead? Would that not have been better? I think this would have been a more aggressive choice. You can tell he sees the golds and he wants the golds. He just built 2 mining camps. Oh, wow. Killing Viper's villagers on stone. Viper just now realizing. Viper lost 4 vills there. I think we missed some woo-woo-woos earlier, by the way. Look at that. That wolf might have killed two cav archers. Oh, man. This is going to be good. Viper switching it up. He's gone Cavalier. And this is hidden as well. This is not something Miguel knows about. Elite Skirmisher and Paladin, that can do the job versus the Camel Archers. All depending on micro, of course. All depending on what resources players have available. Right now, Viper with a slight advantage with the resources. Neither player taking neutral golds. Viper building a castle to protect his third one, which he's going to go to then. But Viper has 4 relics. So as the game goes on, he's going to collect more and more gold. Castle could be denied here. Again, Viper getting caught out of position. Castle's at 87%. All these vills are going to drop. It might still go up. I'm sure it will go up later on in this game, but it has been denied. Smart from Viper to quick wall there, and Viper now pushing out, and Viper's going to deny one of Miguel's castles. This is the first time Miguel is seeing the Cavalier as well, and Viper's not just stopping a Cavalier, he is going for Paladin as well. This is what Miguel did not want to see. He was hoping that Viper would stick with the cavalry archers. Miguel's only at 25 military. Viper is at 45. And Paladins get free attack upgrades. So they will be fully upgraded Paladins. Viper paying attention to this gold still. Would be wise to keep his cav archers there, or maybe at least one cav archer just to scout it throughout the game. Sending the trebs, and this is where the fights get important, because Miguel has the hill. He has full upgrades on his elite cam archers, but he wants the golds. If he loses the castles, it's game over for him. But can Viper push up the hill? There's a small hill here, so Viper's army will do a bit more damage than normal. I don't know where his paladins have ventured off to. But they're not here. I think they're looping around on the minimap. I like the Hussar move from Miguel. The Hussar is there just to kill these skirmishers. And Viper wanted to use his trebuchets now. He's going to lose this army if he sticks around. Meanwhile, the cav archer's there. Okay, he sent 2 cavalier there for later. Viper regrouping. And that gives Miguel an opportunity to finally castle this gold. Viper losing some of the Cavalier before their Paladin, too.
Yes.
Miguel saying, is there any counter to it? And Viper says yes. I believe Miguel was referring to his camel archers. Like, is there any counter to this Viper? Viper's like, yes, there is. Just wait for it. And honestly, the best counter to a very strong but expensive unit is to raid their economy. A Viper wasting no time here. We saw it before. It'll pull Miguel out of position. And Viper just seems to be the faster player. He's probably the fastest player in the game. So just like that, all these villas running away. These are just regular cavalry archers. And they have the opportunity to kill villagers. And Miguel, seeing Viper has this stone, not liking that, killing some villas. But he can't go close to this. A Viper has pushed forward And he's killed a few of the rams and going to kill a few of the villagers from Miguel. This is all about multitasking now. Army positioning. You only get 200 population. Where will you have it? Viper's done a wonderful job at choosing the right time to fight. Miguel out of position with his main army. And that really hurts too. It really hurts because he not only lost villagers, but he just lost the gold entirely. And capped rams. And the capped rams are so strong versus camel archers. Oftentimes versus ranged units, you want meat shields. And then the ranged units are going to be distracted, and then your paladins or your skirmishers in this case can do the job. As you can see here, this ram is tanking a lot of arrow fire. A Viper is going to try and take this first castle out. Miguel needs hussars. Hussars are the answer to these rams. I think he's going to kill the rams, and I think this push is going to stall for Viper. What a bit of a waste for him, and Miguel taking the score lead after cleaning it up down here and cleaning it up here. Still very close. Both players around 150 population. And both players want this gold. But guess what? Viper has this one. So while they might be fighting over one of Miguel's golds and one of the neutral golds, Viper, he has that gold. And of course he has this gold too. I want to check the scouting. Miguel still has not scouted that. It's a very simple thing that I think sometimes top players just don't do. Getting the relics early. Viper always seems to get the relics beforehand. Getting to the extra golds. Viper always seems to get to the extra golds first. Versus Viper, he's never going to try and beat you in the castle age. He's always going to try and do enough damage to delay you, and then he's going to beat you an imp with a stronger economy. That's how all the top players do it. They'll never go all in. They'll never go all in. They'll just hit you from the left, hit you from the right, and then eventually, at some point, they're going to starve you to the point where you have no way of winning. And the reason Viper came back in game 1 was because of his early map control. And the same thing might be happening here. It sounds like such a simple thing from a spectator point of view. It really does. But it's not. It's a conscious effort to be doing this. It's conscious effort to be raiding with paladins. Just thinking, okay, it's okay to throw away some paladins if we're taking him off that gold and we have the gold and we have the relics. Viper actually said in an interview, as he goes to raid with Magyar Hussars now, he said in an interview with, I believe, Swiss Boy, leading into the tournament, that defensive style is better than an aggressive style. And the reason being is simply because you can get all the do exactly what Viper's doing right now. I don't need to say it again. Viper's lost one trebuchet. Will he lose the next trebuchet here? He will. And Miguel, finally in the middle of the map, finally trying to trap down Viper's economy. And having success with doing so. The paladins dropping like flies. Viper, I think he's going to try and repair this, but it seems too late. There's far too many trebuchets here. Viper might not even have the stone for that. So now Miguel pushing back, and Miguel could take Viper's gold away from him. Miguel takes control over these two golds in the middle. Now Viper with the sneaky stables up here just so he can raid the economy. We'll watch the Vil count below to see how that adds up, because it's already played a part in this game. Miguel at 81 villagers. The Viper losing Vils now too. The trebs are going to be packed up, and Viper cannot wait much longer to defend from this. But you know what? This is his game plan, I guess. Just raid the economy. This is a lot of hussars, and there's not much here for Miguel to deal with this. He's sending more back now. It's just a distraction technique. Still don't know if it'll be enough. The Viper's hoping it will be. Just like I said earlier. That's Viper's style. He's gonna kill Vils here. It's important that Miguel replenishes his villager count. But look at this army in Viper's base. Viper could lose all of his relics. 4 trebuchets and a capped ram. Unrivaled right now. Next to 40 camel archers. And Viper's still raiding this gold. Still raiding the wood line. 67 Vils for Miguel. And now Viper's pushing this way. He doesn't even care. He's just going to go straight for the economy. And if he could take a free castle, that's a beautiful thing for him. No more camel archers from this castle then. But still, like, what? Who's in the better situation? Because Viper, he's going to be losing his economy as well. It's just a matter of who's going to be losing at a faster rate, I guess. Viper running back to his own base now, so he killed a castle and has had to run away. He's killed about 20 villagers. But what will he lose now, as the Hussars are in his base, and the Trebuchets are killing everything in sight? Viper, again, does not have this gold. He has raided this gold, but he's not collecting it. This one's the only gold being collected right now that is unrivaled or untouched by either player. Okay, now Viper sending in the Paladins from the right. He's regrouped now, and Paladins from the left. He's gonna kill all the Trebuchets, and I feel like Viper had this in mind the entire time. He figured, you know what? I'm just gonna do damage to his eco. Just gonna hit his eco, and we'll wait. We'll calculate to the point where we can actually win the fight in our own base, and he'll overinvest, and then he won't be able to replenish with more camel archers. Still, needs to be careful, but he has the skirmishers behind, and I think this is a losing fight for Miguel. Miguel has Paladins attacking him, and he has the skirmishers behind him while he's just with camel archers. He's lost a castle. He's losing his gold villagers. Just precise decisions from Viper. Not all in one swing, but slowly as more Hussars come in again. Not many gold villagers for Miguel. Viper still has his relics. And Viper has 170 population while Miguel is at 100. Slowly but surely, Viper wins games. Miguel just doesn't have the pop now. He does not have the population or the resources to continue to defend from these raids, and it's simply just a matter of time. He's outnumbered here. Viper building stables. He's outnumbered here. Miguel hiding in his base and sending his main force back. And then this gives Viper an opportunity, now that he has the numbers, now that he has the eco that Miguel does not, to go right to this gold. I think that's got to be the game. Miguel calling it. Viper choosing the right army composition, going with the elite skirmishers and going with the paladins. And in 3 games, 3 very good games, by the way, Miguel losing to Viper, Viper sweeping him 3-0, and Viper moves on to the next round of this amazing tournament. Yeah, Miguel played really well. I think the walling criticism from the chat is a little bit unfair. Viper has walled in a base that he just needed 3 walls. I mean, he didn't even need to wall this in the end because he could build his production facilities there. But wall here, wall here. In game 2, you could have made the argument for the wall, maybe. But I think it's just obvious that Viper plays the late game a lot better. There's 3 games where Viper got to the neutral golds earlier, and Viper was raiding the economy in a way that was a lot more calculated than Miguel could ever do. Also, it's very difficult to wall when your opponent's going cavalry archers and your opponent is patrolling the choke points anyway and patrolling the extra gold. So, I don't know. I think the criticism is a little bit unfair from the chat because it's a lot more complicated than that. Viper is just so good at making sure he has the extra resources and he can starve his opponent. Richard, thank you for the 6 viewer hosts. Guys, let's get all the salutes up in the chat for Richard and his viewers. Yeah, I think the one argument you could make is for game 2, because he was obviously going to be versus Eagle Warriors. That was definitely a game where he could have walled a bit easier and a bit earlier. But you never know, because Viper did go up to Imp early, right? So he might not have expected it, and he might have thought his Woad Raiders would have been there. All right, here's the military stats and the economy stats. Viper ahead with the golds, no surprise with the relics. Let's see, the relics gave him almost 3,000 more gold, which was the difference. Vilhai. Viper capped out at about, he was at 120, 130 throughout Imp, and Miguel was only at 100. Miguel did go up to Imp early, but he didn't do anything with that advantage. I think that's why he had less vills overall. But still, that game was amazing. Very exciting stuff. So,